Something a little bit different today, folks. I want to show you a really quick, easy, inexpensive stain that I've been using for years. I'm going to mix up a batch today and show you just how easy it is. And then I did some math and figured out the cost of it. And we're going to go ahead and apply it on some different materials to show you how it works. And that episode's coming right up after this brief pause for channel identification. Hello everybody, and thanks for coming back for another video. This is Dave and I'm glad you're with me. Out here in the shop today, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different and show you all this wood stain. I've been using it for about 3 decades now, and I've used it on a variety of different things. So I have a lot of experience using it. It's very inexpensive to make, and it's just 2 ingredients. And those ingredients are potassium permanganate and water. And that's all there is to it. So when you make this stuff, I recommend rubber gloves. It will stain your hands. Although it's not that big of a deal, it will eventually wear off. Or I've heard lemon juice will take the stains out, or any kind of a dye remover, that type of thing will get it off. But it's just as easy just to slip on some latex gloves, mix it up and use it. And I'll reposition the camera right now. We'll mix up a batch and I'll show you how this stuff works. Okay, I'm going to mix up a batch now and show you just how easy it is. I like to use chopsticks to stir it, but you can use a spoon or anything you want. And then stick around, because afterwards I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, go ahead and stain a few things for you, and then I'll talk a little bit more about how much it costs to make this stuff and that type of thing. So this is just a 1/2 pint of regular tap water. And then this is potassium permanganate, which comes in this granular form, as you can see here. If you're making a full pint, you'd want to use a full tablespoon of this, but just about a 1/2. And this is where it really doesn't have to be that critical. You can add a little more, use a little less, depending on how dark you want your stain to be. So right here, that should be good. And you'll see instantly it starts dissolving and it turns purple. Really pretty shade of purple color. And then you want to just stir it and make sure that it's nice and mixed. You can even put the lid on and shake it up at this point if you want. And you can see what it looks like on the chopsticks here, the wooden chopstick, purple. I'll go ahead and put the lid on and shake it just to make sure it's nice and mixed very well. But it does dissolve very fast in water. And like I said, you can make this lighter, darker. It really doesn't matter that much. It just depends on how dark you want to stain whatever you're staining. But in this case, I'm going to use an acid brush. And I've got a variety of different things here that I'll show you. Here's a little piece of basswood that I put some stain on earlier, and it's now dry. Here's the same piece of basswood, and I'll just brush it on 1/2 of it, and you can see there what it looks like. Now we'll set that off to the side. Here's a piece of bamboo. I just grabbed a variety of different woods so that you can see how it looks on hardwoods, softwoods, all that kind of thing. And I'll do 1/2 of this bamboo, and then here's a scrap of plywood. Brush some onto that, and you can go back and add more if you want it darker, or mix up your batch a little bit stronger to save time. But if you go back over it again, it definitely will get darker. Here's another little piece of some type of hardwood. I think it's cherry. Put that there. And here's just a scrap of pine. Yeah, and I'll tell you how I learned about this, using this as a stain. Here, while we're waiting for these to dry, here's a piece of Antler. This was the main thing that I first discovered this to be used on, is staghorn. And here's a little piece of cow bone. I use bone a lot on pocket knives when I restore pocket knives, replacing the bone scales. It won't soak in, it beads up a little bit, and a lot of times it takes multiple applications, but it does work on it. So we'll let that sit there and dry, and we'll get back to it here in a minute. Okay, while we wait for those pieces to dry, and then I'll show you how they turned out, I'll talk a little bit about how I found out about this. So years ago, when I had my custom knife making business, I had a customer that was really involved in going to rendezvous, the Mountain Man Club, something like that. And he bought a lot of patch knives off of me and other knives, and fire spits and various things that I made in my forge. And he worked for a water treatment plant, and at that water treatment plant, they used potassium permanganate. And he also was crafty and made things, and he made chairs, really neat, unique chairs. I forget what they were called, but he would mix up potassium permanganate and water and use it as a walnut wood stain on his chairs. And he also discovered that if you use it on staghorn, especially if it's older staghorn, like if it's a shed that you found out in the woods that's been sitting around for a while and the squirrels haven't gotten to it, you can stain that stag with this potassium permanganate solution, and it gets into all the little nooks and crannies and things, and it makes it look 100 years old. And of course, that's what really appealed to him. He liked stuff that looked old for going to those rendezvous and stuff. So subsequently, he gave me a big container of it, and I'm still on it 30 plus years later. I've only used about half of what he gave me, because a little bit goes a long way. I did a little bit of math. I'll look at my notes here real quick, and I discovered that an 8-ounce container of potassium permanganate contains about 16 tablespoons, and that's enough to make 2 gallons. So here's a picture I found online of some potassium permanganate you can buy, and at that price right there, you can make enough. There's enough there to make 2 gallons. And that would add up to about $2.12 a quart. And the cheapest I could find for a quart of water-based wood stain right now at one of the more popular home improvement stores was $15. So $2.12 versus $15. You can see it's very inexpensive to make, and it's very effective. So I'm going to let these pieces dry. I don't want this video to get too long and bore y'all, but I'll go ahead and let these pieces dry, and then I'll get back to you and show you how they turned out. Be right back in a second. So if any of you watching are into bushcraft, you may already be familiar with potassium permanganate. It's a very common item used in survival because this does purify water. That's why I got it from the guy that works at the water treatment plant. Just the tiniest amount of this stuff to where it causes the water to just start to change color is enough to purify water. So you definitely don't want to drink this stuff in this kind of strength right here. And another little safety tip, this stuff will spontaneously combust if mixed with antifreeze. So you want to keep it separate from any antifreeze, and you don't want them to ever mix because it is a fire hazard. If it gets mixed with antifreeze, it will catch on fire. But that being said, aside from that, as long as you store it properly, and once it's in the liquid form, it's safe from any kind of combustion or anything like that. And you can mix up a batch. Eventually, it will turn brown if air gets to it. The only difference is it starts off purple and dries to a brown color. But if it does eventually turn brown in your jar, you can use it just the same. It'll work just as effectively. That is just something I noticed it does, and I thought I'd pass it along to you. And just so you know, I'm going to include this video in my playlist titled Bonus Videos with No Home. This isn't my regular content, but I do plan on more videos like this in the future. So make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. So like I said, the quantities you mix this at are not critical at all. Just a general guideline is 1 tablespoon of potassium permanganate powder to about 16 ounces of water. These are US measurements. I'm not going to do grams or any of that kind of stuff. You can just convert it however you want. But 1 tablespoon will make to 16 ounces of water will make a pretty good medium batch. So most of our pieces are dry here, so I'll go ahead and show them to you now. It's been about 15 minutes. Here's that little piece of basswood. You can see here where I didn't coat it, and this is with a very weak batch. And you can see, and it doesn't come off on your finger or anything. It's dry. At this point, you can top coat it with anything you like, any kind of urethane, varnish, lacquer, or whatever you want. It's a stain, and it's soaked into the grain, and it's dried, and so it's ready for any kind of top coat you want to put on it. The other piece of basswood with a little bit stronger batch is right here, so you can see how much darker it is. And then here's that little piece of cherry hardwood, and you can see how that turned out. And then let's see, here's our bamboo. That's what it looks like. And then the plywood, I actually put a second coat on it off camera because it soaked in and it was pretty light. So I put a second application on that, and that's how that turned out. And then I've never done this before, but I had an old pair of white socks, so I went ahead and dyed one of those. It's a little bit damp still yet, but just in case anybody wanted to try using it on fabrics, it will work on fabrics too. Now, I haven't tested it to see how many washings it's going to hold up to or anything like that, but it does stain fabric too. So here's the before and after on that. And then our little piece of bone, our white bone, there it is. Like I said, you can just keep going with applications to make it darker or mix up a stronger batch, however you want. Here's our little piece of pine. And that looks very much like dark walnut stain. Might have a little reddish tint to it. I don't know, you be the judge of that, what you think. But I think it's a real pretty color. And then our staghorn, I have the same rack, the other piece. So you can see a before and after in the same section. Get that on camera where you can see it. And you can see how much darker it is. And it really does give it an aged effect. So if you're restoring antlers, this might be something you might consider using as a stain in antler restoration. So if you do a lot of staining, like I said, this is a cheap alternative. You can make a gallon of this stuff for about $8.48 or $2.12 a quart. And so if you do a lot of staining, this might be something you want to try. I appreciate everybody watching today's episode, and I hope you're having a great day. This is Dave. See you in the next one.